Have you ever wondered why some people seem to overflow with blessings while others barely scrape by? There's a concept that is often misunderstood and shrouded in mystery, and that's the idea of abundance. When we talk about abundance, many might instantly think of material wealth, a huge house, a fancy car, or a fat bank account. But is that really all there is to it? Is abundance merely a measure of worldly possessions? In our quest to understand abundance, we're going to delve into a timeless guide, a reservoir of wisdom, Psalm 34 from the Bible. This is not just a chapter, but a roadmap to an abundant life filled with joy, peace, and fulfillment. It's a beautiful tapestry of words that transcends the physical and touches the spiritual. So, are you ready to embark on this enlightening journey, to unravel the mystery of true prosperity? Now let's uncover the secrets hidden in Psalm 34. Psalm 34 begins with a call to perpetual praise. It's an invitation to a ceaseless celebration of the divine, a dance that never ends. As we delve into the verses, we see David the psalmist setting a profound example of this. He proclaims in the opening verse, "I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth." This is not a sporadic act, but a constant one. Regardless of the circumstance, whether in times of joy or sorrow, David chooses to bless the Lord. This is an attitude of gratitude, a conscious decision to focus on the goodness of God. The application here is clear: to embrace an attitude of gratitude in our lives, to make praising God our lifestyle. In the second verse, David invites the humble to hear and be glad, to magnify the Lord with him. He is calling us to share in this perpetual praise, to join in this divine celebration. It's not a solitary act, but a communal one, a shared joy in recognizing the greatness of God. As we move to the third and fourth verses, we see David seeking the Lord and experiencing his deliverance. "I sought the Lord, and he answered me, and delivered me from all my fears." This is a promise of divine intervention, an assurance that when we seek God, he hears and delivers us from our troubles. It's a beacon of hope in times of distress, a reassurance that we are never alone. The application here is to seek divine intervention in times of trouble, to reach out to God in prayer, and to trust in his promise of deliverance. It's a call to faith, to believe in the power of prayer, and to trust in the goodness of God. In the grand scheme of things, these verses teach us the importance of maintaining a constant spirit of praise and seeking the Lord in times of trouble. It's a journey of faith, a path of trust, and a way of life. In praising and seeking, we find the first key to abundance. The next verses of Psalm 34 present a profound paradox. Now let's delve into the mystery of these lines from 5 to 10. The first verse here, verse 5, says, "Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame." This verse is a gentle reminder that when we look to God, our faces are filled with joy, and we are liberated from the shackles of shame and guilt. Moving on to verse 6, it reads, "This poor man called, and the Lord heard him. He saved him out of all his troubles." This verse is a testament to God's compassion and responsiveness. It's a powerful affirmation that God hears our cries, understands our hardships, and saves us from our tribulations. And then we have verse 7, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them." This verse presents the paradox of fearing the Lord, which, paradoxically, leads to freedom from fear. It tells us that those who respect and revere God are safeguarded by his divine protection. Verses 8 and 9 urge us to taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. Fear the Lord, you his holy people, for those who fear him lack nothing. Here the psalmist invites us to experience God's goodness firsthand. He assures us that those who seek refuge in God and revere him will lack nothing. Finally, verse 10, "The lions may grow weak and hungry, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing." This verse paints a vivid picture of God's provision. Even the fierce and mighty lions may grow weak and hungry, but those who seek God will never lack any good thing. So what's the application here? It's the need for reverence towards God and trust in his provision. By honoring and trusting God, we open ourselves up to his divine protection and provision. This reverence and trust are the second key to living an abundant life. In reverence and trust, we discover the second key to abundance. Psalm 34 continues with a lesson on the path to life, prosperity, and peace. In this stretch of the divine psalm, verses 11 through 14, we find an earnest plea for us to listen, learn, and live righteously. The psalmist beckons to us saying, "Come, my children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord." This isn't a call to tremble in terror, but rather a nudge to develop a deep sense of awe, respect, and reverence for our Creator. It's a call to acknowledge His supreme authority and submit to His divine will. The verses continue to pose a question that resonates with every soul. Whoever of you loves life and desires to see many good days? The psalmist then provides the answer, which is a blueprint for a blessed life. It's a call to good conduct and virtuous living, a call to keep our tongues from evil and our lips from deceitful speech. But it doesn't stop there. The psalmist further instructs us to turn from evil and do good, to seek peace and pursue it. It's not just about avoiding wrongdoings or harmful speech, but actively promoting goodness and peace. This is more than a call to passivity. It's a call to action, a call to shape our world into a better, more peaceful place. These verses are an invaluable guide to anyone seeking abundance in life. They remind us that prosperity and peace are not merely about material wealth or the absence of conflict. Instead, they are about living in alignment with divine principles, about fostering a sense of awe for the Creator, and about actively pursuing righteousness and peace. The path to abundance, as outlined in Psalm 34, is not an easy one, but it promises a life of profound fulfillment and peace. It's a path lined with integrity, righteousness, and a deep commitment to peace. It's a path that calls for us to not only avoid wrong but to do right, to not only seek peace but to actively pursue it. In righteousness and peace we unlock the third key to abundance. The final verses of Psalm 34 are a testament to God's protection and deliverance. This is where we find the promises that underpin our lives, offering a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. Verses 15 to 18 speak to the omnipresence of God. His eyes are on the righteous, and His ears are open to their cry. A comforting affirmation indeed. This means that God is ever watchful, ever attentive to our needs and our pleas. He is not a distant deity, but rather a loving Father who is intimately involved in our lives. Then comes the promise of deliverance in verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. This verse does not sugarcoat life. It acknowledges that the righteous will face trials, yet it assures us that God will deliver us from every single one. This is not a promise of a problem-free life, but a promise of victory over every problem. Verse 21 and 22 further underscore God's protective nature. The promise is clear: evil shall slay the wicked, and those who hate the righteous will be condemned. Yet the Lord redeems the life of His servants, and none of those who take refuge in Him will be condemned. But what does this mean for us today? Well, it's a source of confidence. It's the assurance that we are not alone in our struggles, that we have a divine protector who is always with us, always listening, always ready to deliver us from our trials. This knowledge can empower us to face any challenge with courage and optimism, knowing that victory is assured. Moreover, it's a source of abundance. When we understand that our lives are under God's protection, we are free to live boldly, to take risks, to step out of our comfort zones. We can pursue our dreams and aspirations without fear, knowing that God is on our side. It's in this divine protection, this assurance of deliverance, that we find a key to abundant living. In understanding that God is with us, for us, and in us, we unlock a life of peace, joy, and fulfillment. In divine protection, we grasp the final key to abundance. Psalm 34 is more than just a chapter in the Bible, it's a blueprint for an abundant life. This psalm unveils the secrets of abundance in its verses, weaving together a tapestry of wisdom for those willing to delve into its depths. The first key to abundance is constant praise. Regardless of our circumstances, we are encouraged to continually give thanks, acknowledging the source of our blessings. The second key is reverence towards God, which means to hold a profound respect and awe for the divine. This reverence shapes our attitudes and actions, leading us to the third key, the pursuit of righteousness. When we actively seek what is good and just, we align ourselves with God's will. The final key is trust in divine protection. Even in the face of adversity, we are reassured of God's unwavering protection. Embrace these keys, and you unlock the door to a life overflowing with blessings. Remember, abundance is not about having, it's about being.